I am László Gaál. My MLM story started in the same way as most other people's. I wanted an opportunity, and MLM became a tool to achieve it. I first learned about MLM in 1991, when a young man contacted me who I hadn't met before. He called me, he got my number through a mutual acquaintance, and said that he had heard that I was a good businessman and he would like to introduce me to a new business opportunity. Back then, I was a satisfied entrepreneur with 4 small shops. I'd started to go hunting, my house was finished, and so I wasn't really interested in an opportunity. But even so, I was curious about anything new. He visited me, showed me different perfumes, and drew some circles. I didn't really like it. When he asked me which bus was going to the city, I totally lost interest. I told him that in 2 years' time, he'd been in this good business for 2 years, I didn't want to be taking a bus or going from house to house trying to sell perfumes. I was even willing to bet my house that I would definitely not be working in such a stupid business. And then 2 years later, my financial situation changed because the multinational companies set up in Hungary. The big fish ate the small fish, and so my 4 small shops started to operate at a deficit, one after the other. I had to decide whether to step behind the counter or search for a business which needed very little capital. My other option was to go back to work as an employee. To be honest, I didn't want to stand behind the counter or become an employee, so I had one option left, which was to find an opportunity where I could start without much capital. I started to research MLM. I went to an event in Debrecen where there were about 100 people. The company that was introduced there had arrived in Hungary 1 year before. Nearly 100 people were at the event, and they sold weight loss products. Back then, I was 20 kilos lighter than now, so I wasn't really interested in losing weight or in the product. But I also saw a confident married couple at the meeting who were traveling the world, and I thought that I could do that too. The next step was to go on a 2-day training course at the Balaton. To be honest, it wasn't the product that interested me, but the fact that in the last half hour, the 10 best people were called onto the stage, and they mentioned the kind of incomes that I wanted as well. They earned as much as I could during a year in a well-paid job. That's when I said to myself that I would try it. And not only try it, but make this business happen. I told those sitting next to me that I'd be on the stage in a year's time. It wasn't the spotlight that I wanted, but the income that the people on the stage were making. I'm especially proud of what I achieved with that company. They took 2 people from Hungary on a holiday to Hawaii at the Hilton, us and our sponsor. I have to add that being able to work with my wife made it a bit easier, so I didn't have to fight at home in order to be able to work in MLM. We were in this together. I was usually more proactive and took the initiative. She was a better speaker and she gave the presentations, while I tended to do the face-to-face meetings. This system started to work really well, and compared to the decent income I had planned, I was able to gather significant capital, and in the end I started to invest in the stock market. Doing business on the stock market has advantages and also disadvantages, and I experienced both of them. In the first week I earned more than 10,000 euros, and then in half a year I lost all my money. It was all about timing, and Soros could do that better than I could. It seemed that I should stay in my own area of expertise, so I started to work with MLM once again. I know how to do that, and I think I can do it well. I had given up Herbalife when I started on the stock market. When we lost all of our money, then I simply had to start working from zero in a new system. Then a company called Tahitian Noni, distributing exotic juices, arrived in Hungary, and they were already present in more than 40 countries across the world. At that time, I made a decision. We had the expertise, and if we started with that, then we could try to achieve success here. A distributor introduced the company to Hungary. So he had nothing to do with the company, but he ran things in Hungary as if he were the company owner. For example, he decided who was going to have a coordination point. I wasn't in his circle of friends, and so I was late finding out that to have a coordination point I needed at least 60 people in my team. I asked why he hadn't told me that, and he said that he was telling me now. So I had a week to find 60 colleagues. I am proud of the fact that I could get 60 people to join in a week, and of those, 13 people were on my first line and the rest were placed in depth levels. Our days were all about hard work. At 6 to 7 a.m. I left for somewhere in the country or went to Debrecen or Budapest. I spent all day in meetings and the evenings at home parties or presentations. But in the end, I got 60 people to join. 2 of us working at this company reached the highest position in a year. The person who brought this product to Hungary and me. Meanwhile, time seemed to have become my enemy, as there was an external attack directed against this company, and it was considering leaving Hungary. That was the moment when I started to think about launching my own MLM business. For about 3 years, I went to bed and got up with this thought in my mind. I was searching for a product, for an opportunity that I could be successful with, and that is how FLAVON started. We provided a real product for the market, a product that everyone needs. TV and radio commercials keep urging us to consume fruits and vegetables, and it is scientifically proven that the consumption of fruits and vegetables extends your life. Due to their antioxidant effects, they improve our body's immunity. And so I believe we managed to create a very good product. And because I had been a distributor, I created the kind of marketing system that distributors long for. So it's a kind of tightening-loosening marketing. If you're able to start building a team and find the right person, then you can step back a bit. Marketing is paid on 12 levels without any blocking, meaning that if you find a new business partner in a new country, then you can get rich by introducing just this one person to the system. The job is to find this person and train him or her, but we are more than happy to help in this process. So the only thing you need to do if you start working with FLAVON is to find the people you know from all over the world who are open to MLM and to a healthy lifestyle and to the opportunity to work in a legal business. Try to persuade them. We provide you with excellent materials and company videos. This message is also meant to be spread. Feel free to pass it on, because we take responsibility for this company. We are a family enterprise and not a joint stock company where only profits count. Any promise I make I always try to keep, and what I'm in charge of always gets done. Within 10 years, FLAVON has paid back commissions of more than 33 million euros. We have our own factory, our own company buildings, and we've created a very serious working environment for our employees, so that they can plan with us for the long run. I'm planning to achieve payment of the next 33 million euros of commission not in 10 years, but in 2 or 3, and that depends on you. If you can bring in a new country, a new person, one who truly wants to work in a legal business in the long term, then FLAVON offers you a great opportunity. I've seen many people working in MLM who've invested a lot of work in a company that either didn't pay out for all their work or didn't work legally. I firmly believe that in order to plan for the long term in your business, you must meet the legal requirements. I'm very proud to announce that I pay the highest taxes of all the MLM companies in Hungary. What we wish for our co-workers is to pay high taxes as well, because the consequence of high tax rates is high earnings. Many different people leave their countries, some to go on holiday since it is summer already, and some to find a job. However, there's a huge difference between going abroad to end up doing washing up somewhere as an employee and being an employer in any part of the world. I feel Paul Getty's motto could be mine. I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Paul Getty was the richest person of his time. It isn't certain that you'll be the richest person in the world, but becoming an employer in Western Europe, America, or anywhere else in the world offers more than just being an employee. In our company, you can earn passive income by building up a system. As long as this system is operating, you gradually earn your commission. I'd like to be surrounded by many rich people. There's a saying in the world of MLM, make your colleagues rich so that you will be rich too. I'd like to be richer, but this requires my colleagues to be millionaires as well. Be one of them.